Hello, how are you? Well, I hope. This week I have a little book for you. It's nonfiction. It's quite short. It's called The Art Thief by Michael Finkel. It's about Stéphane Breitwieser. I may be pronouncing that wrong. I apologize if I am. So he was the most prolific art thief of all time, stealing artworks and historical objects from museums all over Europe with the help of his girlfriend in broad daylight. And he amassed a collection worth over $2 billion, all of which he kept for his own enjoyment in his attic bedroom in his mother's house. He never sold any of the pieces. This is the story of who he was, what he did, how he did it, and how it all came crashing down around him. So, Michael Finkel is a journalist and the author of the acclaimed The Stranger in the Woods, which is also a nonfiction book. This book is detailed and well researched, with descriptions about the items stolen and the order of events. And then interspersed into that is background information that brings us into the odd world of the people involved and kind of introduces aspects of it as we go. It's a structure that's used really well, but it can be slightly repetitive in some places just because it sort of involves, go to museum, steal, go to museum, steal, that kind of thing. But it's still really interesting. At the start of the book, we're offered this quote from Oscar Wilde: "Aesthetics are higher than ethics." I liked this because while the book is partly the study of an interesting crime, it's also one that wants to explore the character of the main player. And there's something sort of elusive about Stéphane and his mother and girlfriend. Like, what drove him to be the way he was? And there's not one definitive opinion on this. But I found it really interesting that while it was suggested that Stéphane was perhaps a narcissist or a kleptomaniac, as you might expect, he may have been suffering from Stendhal syndrome, which I had never heard of before. And it refers to an intense reaction to art bordering on a spiritual experience that some people have looking at certain artworks. To be fair, people with that syndrome don't generally go around stealing art, but it suggests something about the compulsion and the intense needs and feelings of this particular thief and his obsession with aesthetic over ethics. The book isn't especially long, but it has quite a lot of detail, and it's a fascinating story and character study. As I was reading it, I just couldn't help but imagine living in that attic surrounded by that kind of opulence and what that might feel like and how it might change how you think about yourself and your place in the world. There's also a sense of mystery around the whole thing, something that feels just a little bit unsolved, because in the end, we sense that there's a lot to the girlfriend and the mom and their relationship with Stéphane that we will just never know. There's also something about Stéphane himself that's strange and elusive. And perhaps most obviously, not all of the artworks were found. I'm not going to sort of tell you why or go into that because spoilers, but there's something that happens at the end with the artworks that I found almost physically painful to read about. Like, I had a lot of feelings about it. Anyway, this is a fascinating true crime story that's less violent, but just as compelling as the more sort of bloody tomes in this genre. So I think a lot of you will like this one. This is great if you love nonfiction about interesting, unusual people, about heists and crime, or if you're interested in that kind of Bonnie and Clyde type relationship, then this one is a must read. I really enjoyed it. You can check out some of my other videos. I also have another channel and socials, so you can find links below if you want more of that. And if you want to hang out again, remember to like and subscribe. And you can always leave a comment, let me know what you thought, or let me know what else you might want to see. Thank you.